Hey guys, Kev here, and I'm ready to do my full review on the Tactile Knife Co. Bear Slip Joint. This is spelled Bexar, but it is pronounced Bear. It is a county in Texas. That is how they call it, or that is how they say it. Respect that. Just call it the Bear, guys. I know you want to make fun of it or call it something else, but it's just what it is. You know what I mean? We all have those nuances in our language or whatever, and it just happens in Texas. They call that county Bear County. So that's why they named it that. The first knife was called the Rockwall. That's a county as well. So a couple things. There's sort of a saga to this knife. How I got this particular one, the whole story. So we can get into that. First, I want to give a big shout out to two people. First, Tactile Knife Co. For sending this my way. They sent this in for review. I did not pay for this. Please take that into consideration when you watch the rest of this video. This is actually the second one I got. We'll get into that. But I want to thank them for sending this for me to review. And yeah, so I just want to mention that part. I did buy this bead. It's a zirconium bead, and then they added it on when they sent the replacement. Again, we'll get into that, but they sent the knife. This other shout out is to Lancelot Leather, guys. He made the mat you're looking at, and he made this absolutely beautiful knife slip for the Bear. He can make these for any slip joint you need, any knife you need, really. He's made clip slips for me for my Kvist variant custom that doesn't come with a clip. Fantastic. But this is an absolute dream of a carry right here, guys. It slips right in perfectly, fits snug. You get the lanyard sticking out there. It's not going anywhere, but it's not like hard to get out, right? It carries super slim. The reason I love this knife is how slim it is, guys. That's the whole thing with this knife for me. This knife inspired me to design a slip joint, which I believe will be coming to market. So keep your eyes on Devo knives, guys. But the thinness was the reason for that. That's what inspired me. And this knife started that. Anyway, this slip keeps it thin. And it's a dream to carry front pocket, back pocket, however you want. So hit up Lancelot Leather if you need any type of leather goods or slip or whatever. This was like, I don't know, $30 or something. That's crazy for the quality you get. You can go to his website, lancelotleather.com. I actually have a discount code there, LeftyEDC, if you want 10% off. But you can also just DM him on Instagram if you want to just chat about a project, if you want something custom. So let me put that up here, and let's get into the Bear. So they sent me one of these originally a couple months ago at this point. I've had this for a while. And they were coming out with them in Magna Cut. You can see here, this one is in Magna Cut. So I get the first one, and you can go back and watch my unboxing of it. And I noticed immediately that the blade wasn't like super sharp. It just felt sort of rough right here, sort of gritty. And it was because they had just switched to Magna Cut, and they were still set up for 20CV and XHP, and they just hadn't adjusted the machines yet to deal with Magna Cut. So I just put that on a ceramic stone or my sharp maker and sharpened it, and it did okay, but it wasn't great. So I had my buddy Joe, my local buddy Joe, shout out to Joe. I had him put an edge on it, right, with his KME, which he did a fantastic job. But I got it back, and there was a chip, like, right here in the blade. And I was like, damn, you know, did he accidentally chip it, or did I chip it, like, right when I got it back? Because I noticed it pretty quick. And it turned out that Tactile actually had an issue in manufacturing on some of these. They use wire EDM for part of the production. And apparently there's something that diffuses to the steel or whatever when you're working with wire EDM, and it needs to be ground off. And they didn't do that on some of them, I guess. So there was little pieces of steel or something on the spring down at the bottom there. And when you would close the knife, it would smack into that, and that's what was chipping the blade. Like, I don't know, I can't remember where the chip was. But anyway, I contacted them, and they were like, oh, yeah, send me a picture inside, whatever. And he said, yeah, that's one of the ones we had the issue on. Just send it back, and we'll send you a new one. So I'm like, okay, great. So while I did that, I said, hey, if I ordered a bead on your website, could you put it on for me and send it with the replacement? And they were like, yeah, sure. So I did that. I think this was like $40 for the Zerk bead. And because I don't know how to tie a lanyard, like, I'm dumb when it comes to that stuff. So they did all that and sent me the new knife with it on there. I thought that was really nice of them. The fact that they replaced it, yes, there was an issue, but again, they gave this to me. So technically, they've given me 2 at this point, right? Of course, I sent the other one back. But anyway, I got this one back, and I'm very pleased to report that the edge on this is much better. I actually have not had this one sharpened. So this is the factory edge, and you'll see it is much sharper. I don't know if I'm hitting... Is there a chip? That would suck, wouldn't it? I don't know if there's just something on the blade. Hold on. It's catching like right here. I don't know if I did something to it. Sorry, I'm just trying to pay attention. So I am catching. I mean, I can cut through no problem, but I am catching about halfway down the blade. I'm hoping it's not the same issue. That would suck. I have not used this a ton. I used the other one a bit, and when I got this one in, I did carry it, but like I carry a lot of knives, so I didn't use it specifically for cutting like paper like that. So I never noticed if there was another chip of some kind. I doubt it, though. That would be very interesting. I don't see any deformations or chips. Where was it catching is the question. So let's start with that, and then we can kind of hone in here. So right there is where it's catching. So let's use the paper and try to see right around there. Huh. I don't see anything. So, I don't know what it is, to be honest. I wonder if it's just like the transition. Like, I wonder if it's just because it goes from like this to a belly, and if it just catches there for some reason. Anyway, needless to say, it's sharp, obviously. It's not like, it's not hair whittling sharp, and it's for sure not super paper cutting sharp, but it's done all of the things I've needed it to do. I've cut shipping labels with it. I have opened packages. I've cut, I think I cut like a pear with it once. Something for my daughter. I don't know if it was a pear or an apple, but it cut through that fine. I can always put an edge on it. I guess the moral of that story is Tactile isn't necessarily putting the best edges on from factory. I've had a few of their knives now. None of them have been excellent out of the box. So, like, it's probably best if you're going to get one of these that you just put your own edge on it right away, which I may do with this because I have a TS Prof now. I may try to sharpen it and see how MagnaCut does, see how I do with it, you know, and go from there. But anyway, that's kind of the cutting side of things. I do think it cuts really well. You get a full ergonomic grip on it, and you have a good cut with this knife. It's hard to explain that in a good way. I love that it's so light and thin, yet you still get, you know, at least 3 inches of blade, I think. This is 3 inches, or let's see. The stout here is 3 1/4. So how much bigger? Oh, yeah, it's a bit bigger. I didn't realize that. Let's see, the Aloni Goat, or let's get something that I know is 3 inches. This guy right here, it's a bit bigger than that. So yeah, it's like 2.75 or so, which to me is fine. It feels bigger than that, to be honest. But with all that, you still get a full grip on this handle, and that's what I really enjoy about it. And then, kind of starting over here, aesthetics. I think this thing is gorgeous. I love the clip point blade. I think it looks absolutely sexy. Do I wish it was a sheep's foot? Yes. That's another reason I kind of designed a similar knife. Thin, but a sheep's foot. You know, ours is different, has a choil and all types of stuff, but it kind of, again, was inspired by this knife. It's just, you know, I love the looks of a clip point, but the use of a clip point is just kind of useless. Like, I don't know for what in EDC you need a swept up tip like that, you know? I get that clip points are good, I think, for like skinning and stuff like that, but like, you just don't need it in EDC. Like, a low tip is, to me, always preferable. But aesthetically, it's gorgeous. The milling lines on the handle, the bead, the lanyard, the nice large screws. Like, they just did a great job with this. The spine, they did a great job with the spring always being even. That's one thing you can notice if you watch my unboxing of the original one. This spring was not flush at any point. It always stuck up a little bit, and that was because of that burr or whatever that was on the spring. So that's one way to tell if yours has that issue. I guess you could see the spring sticking up a little bit. Again, ergonomics, absolutely fantastic in hand. Love it. Yeah, we talked about cutting. I really think it's a good cutter. I don't want to mislead people earlier by showing how it didn't cut. It cut paper just fine. It just was catching on something there. And that could very easily be from me having damaged the edge somehow. So I don't want to put that on them. And I just want to say the factory edges aren't like fantastic, if that makes sense, right? And then the carry is wonderful, guys. That's what I love about this knife. Look how thin it is. It's 0.27 thin. The stock is 0.07. Like, it's just amazing. Or 0.7, right? 0.7? No, 0.07. Absolutely thin as hell. Love it. The carry is fantastic. And the slip, even better, right? Like, you could just carry it like this if you want. But I carry it in this slip. It disappears in pocket because of the weight and the size. Just absolutely wonderful, to be honest. The sounds, are fantastic, guys. Really, really good. You guys know I'm not the slip joint aficionado. I'm getting into them, though. Again, shows you that I designed one. But I'm not like the expert on slip joints. And with that said, I really enjoy the sounds on this, and that takes us to action. I really enjoy the action on this. The pull, not very strong. I'd probably put it like a 5, you know, a 6 tops, but it's definitely more like, you know, a 5, right? Easy to grab. You don't need a nail nick. There is like a double kind of slot nail nick thing going on over here, whatever you call it. I don't know exactly. You could tell me, please. If I get that wrong, I want to know what that's called. You can just grab it so easily down here. Like, you don't need that, but it's nice to have, I guess. You just grab like that. I'm left-handed, so I guess right-handed, you're just grabbing right here. Boom. Half stop. Boom. Full open, right? It's just a pleasure to open. And the spring, I will say, from here, like I said, is like a 5. But then from here to open, it's a little stiffer. And it feels really good when it seats into place. It's not the stiffest spring like this, you know, if you're worried about that. It's not going to be the one that's like super stiff and you can't close it on yourself. You totally could. But you just need to be smart, right? And then when it comes to closing, nice kick to the half stop. I could tell you the difference from the first one I got to the second one was noticeable. They slow, like, as they make knives, guys, they adjust, they get better, they improve. So, like, the spring from here to the half stop is so nice. On the first one, it was kind of mushy. It was kind of like, and you kind of had to push it, and it would just kind of catch right here. It didn't, like, snap into place like it does. See that? It snaps in. I love that. And then, click. It got better, to be honest. The one that I had the first time was okay, but this is good. This, I would say, is good walk and talk, right? Yeah, it's a pleasure, guys. This is a form of fidgeting for me, to be honest, and it's great. You can see the spring at all stages is going to click back into place, right? Boom. Awesome. So, guys, overall, I really, really love the Tactile Knife Co. Bear. And bottom line for me is I love it so much that I sort of went and designed a version of it that was perfect for me, right? Like, ours, of course, it's not gonna, that design does not have the milling they have, and again, it's completely different in a lot of ways. But the thinness, the weight, all of that just made me want to have a sheep's foot slip joint with a choil, and we're kind of trying to make that happen. So I have to give this knife mega credit for that, right? It has to be a good knife if it inspires someone to try to make their own version of it, basically, right? So that's kind of where I'm at with the Tactile Knife Co. Bear. I think it's a fantastic knife. I think for $200 with Magna Cut titanium, I think that's a hell of a price. It's American made, 100% American made. Well, I don't know where I think they make the screws, to be honest, but like, who knows where the paracord came from? Not going to say 100%, but it's American made, guys. I'm proud to own this, and I'm proud to say that, and absolutely love what they're doing over there. Keep an eye on them, guys. They get better as they go. So I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.